It was a relatively minor car crash, but it was enough to cause a strange, very painful, life-changing disorder.
And tonight, one family shares their story in hoping the rest of us will start paying more attention behind the wheel. Here's Fox 9's Jeff Ballion.
This is Julie Roberts' idea of bird watching.
Runway 35 goes right over our house, so we sit and watch the planes.
Her fascination started as a little girl.
I used to do the Paris flight a lot.
It turned into a career as an airline pilot.
All that's gone. All that's just wiped out, and we're just starting all over.
Roberts has gone from controlling a 395,000-pound flying machine.
There's just so much loss.
To barely being able to stomach a car ride.
What's upsetting about this is that we were doing everything right.
This life-changing, career-ending medical nightmare began with a young driver not paying attention.
Just turned right in front of us.
There was no time to stop.
I had gone to the ER, and on an x-ray there was nothing broken, just whiplash.
At first, Roberts thought the intense pain would subside after physical therapy.
It wasn't until a full year after the accident that I started having paralysis of my hands and a lot of burning pain across the neck and in the hands that we couldn't figure out what was going on.
Doctors wondered if multiple sclerosis was robbing her hands of feeling. But then an MRI discovered a strange-looking shape in the middle of her spinal cord.
I was terrified.
Yeah, it was frightening.
It's a condition known as SYRINGOMYELIA. It can cause chronic, debilitating pain and, over time, permanent paralysis. The cyst disrupts brain signals from reaching other parts of the body.
We generally don't tell patients that they'll get better, but some people do.
A congenital abnormality is the most common cause of syringomyelia, but about 10,000 cases in the United States happen from a traumatic injury. For Roberts, it was the impact of a seemingly minor car crash.
It's like a physical terrorism, I think, because it changes from day to day.
She doesn't drive anymore, can't lift anything over 15 pounds, is fearful of coughing or sneezing because it might cause the cyst in her spinal cord to grow and leave her paralyzed.
Most patients don't become normal, though.
Dr. John HEISS is doing research for the National Institutes of Health. Roberts is one of nearly 200 syringomyelia patients who are getting regular MRI scans.
Our study aims to figure out which patients are going to get worse and which patients aren't, and the patients that may get worse, we want to operate on them before they become worse.
Surgery is a very risky proposition. Paralysis is a possible side effect.
These are just the doctor's notes.
SHERYL NIXON also developed syringomyelia after a car crash.
2 days later, I woke up with the worst migraine of my life. I thought I was going to die.
Then she started losing feeling in her hands and feet. One day, while she was stripping wallpaper, she noticed blood all over the floor.
When I got down off the countertop, the razor blade was still in my foot and I couldn't feel it.
As her symptoms got worse, she opted for surgery to reduce pressure that was building up from the cyst in her spinal cord.
Terrifying. It was a 12-hour surgery. It was scary.
She's had 3 surgeries. Each one required a 6-week hospital stay. Her condition has stabilized, but she still has pain and can no longer run her cleaning business.
There is no such thing as a small accident.
NIXON refused to accept an insurance settlement until she knew what was causing her health problem. Not until months after the crash, when she had an MRI, did doctors realize it was syringomyelia.
It's hard to convince folks that aren't used to seeing something that this can be true.
It helps a little bit.
Julie Roberts avoids using any drugs to deal with her chronic pain. Her most recent MRI shows the cyst in her spinal cord hasn't grown any larger, but it's causing unpredictable spikes in her blood pressure and body temperature.
That's probably the scariest issue I have right now.
When the wind is out of the south, the big birds soar over her house, but there's little joy in watching them anymore.
When you look up, what goes through your mind?
That's really hard. That was a great job.
Before the car crash, Roberts had planned to spend another 20 years in the cockpit. then retire to India, where she operates a charity to educate poor children. Now her focus is to try and stay positive.
I do everything I can. I'm determined to find something that will help.
And hope that her condition doesn't get any worse. Jeff Bellion, Fox 9.
And we have much more information about this neurological disorder on the Fox 9 app.